Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today I'm going to talk about a big problem the stock market has. And yesterday, after making a video, I kind of remembered how big of a problem this is. I've talked about it twice on the channel over the last couple of months, but yesterday was a bit more of a reality check of this is going to be a big problem for the stock market in the coming few months, potentially what will sum up the stock market in 2022 as well, because I feel like this is going to hold the stock market back, or particularly big tech and the S&P 500 in the coming few months. So yesterday what I did is I actually made a video on the Patreon, so if you're on Patreon, go check this video out. If you're not and you do want to watch it, link is in the description. But I was doing an exclusive content video, and it took me all of Saturday to put this video together, but basically I got quite a few stocks, and I was trying to see which stocks, and they were mainly growth stocks, which stocks are at the better valuations with better growth at the moment. Did a little bit of a mini screener, not too detailed, but it was really fun to look at. And there was a big thing there of a lot of the small market cap stocks were all coming up dirt cheap, and what were coming up really expensive was a lot of the bigger growth stocks, a lot of the bigger tech growth stocks on that list. And I just thought this kind of sums up where we are with the stock market right now. And after recording this video, what I did is I actually went across to the S&P 500, and after going on to the S&P 500, I just looked, and without looking, sometimes you kind of forget this, but you look at the run that we have been on since March 2020, and the run we've been on is absolutely a huge amount here. And I thought, this is a really big gradient that we've been going up, and I thought I actually had a bit of consideration here, like, has this last kind of year and maybe year and a half-ish, has this now performed better than like the last kind of 4 years? And I actually had a quick look here. So if we went from March the 16th up to really where the peak of the CV was, we actually got a 58% return here. Now if I could go roughly around 3,300 here, without clicking it, we were up 33% here. So in this kind of last, well, that's about a year there. In this last year, we've kind of nearly done half of what the S&P previously did in like 4 years. And it was a bit of a reality check of, there's a lot of gains here. And how sustainable is this for this S&P 500 to keep going up? Realistically, you look at this now and you think, can you really imagine the S&P 500 going up 20% more? I mean, if you imagine, in 2022, if we have an S&P 500 that goes up 20%, which could happen, I'm not at all saying, try time the market here. This is not a video saying anything that is in the S&P 500, you should sell all your stocks here, and panic. But it's a video of, realistically, you've got to consider now, where are the best opportunities? And I look at the S&P 500 now and I think, realistically, sure, we could maybe go up 10%, we could go up 20%, 30%, but every time we're going up and up and down, the valuations are just stretching a huge amount. And I'm looking at here thinking, March or February 2020, and we're at 3,300, and now we're at 4,400. Has there realistically been that much changed in the whole economy, in the whole worldwide economy, to justify the S&P 500 and all of these companies to trade at this high of a valuation? Like, sure, you could argue that a lot of the companies in the S&P 500 are doing better financials, but to be this high up, this high valuation, I don't think so. And I'm a little bit worried looking at a couple of these valuations now and thinking, realistically, we may go up 10-20%. Anything can happen in the stock market. Don't try time the stock market. At no point am I going to sell all my big tech here. But I'm looking at this thinking, can this carry on going up at this rate? It could go up 10, 20, 30%, but the problem is the more we're going up here now, the more we're stretching away from the reality of these valuations. And my worry is that if that is let go at some point and there's a reality check, that reality check is going to be bigger the further we get away from the realistic valuations. And for me, realistic valuations are getting a little bit too far away in a lot of the S&P 500, a lot of the big market cap stocks, a lot of the big tech at the moment. And this kind of sums it up. I talked about this last time when I actually talked about the subject, is look at the S&P 500 here. This is a forward P basis. We are currently trading here at a 21 forward P ratio. Look at the last few previous years. We are higher than all of these years here. And we have to go all the way back to pretty much mid tech bubble to kind of get to any kind of valuations close to where we're at right now. Now, you can argue, there's a lot of innovation going on in the world right now. I'm happy to say that sometimes people appreciate the stock market more people are involved in it, retail investors are involved in it more people are involved, it's easier to get into the stock market. And I'm always very bullish in the stock market in the long term. And even when things are crazy overvalued, if I think, it's crazy overvalued, but still, I think it'd be great in the next 5-10 years. For me, I'm in the long term, I'm ultra bullish in the stock market, and I will hold things. But there's a couple of points where I go, it's just so far from reality now that it just doesn't make sense. And I'm kind of looking at the S&P 500 and look at this. I mean, you can see it's starting to consolidate a little bit here, but the valuations that we're at the moment are just so far from where we should be. Normally we're around about an 18, I can push to a 20, and we're at a 21. And it's just one of those, like, sure, growth will eventually catch up, but it's not catching up at the rate we're going at the moment. And we might go a little bit higher than where we are right now, but for me, it just can't keep doing it. At some point here, this has to consolidate or pull back. And either way, if we have a pullback, then we get better at buying opportunities. If it doesn't pull back and it consolidates for a bit, fine, it consolidates for a bit, but then you have a stagnant stock market for a little bit. And I just look at this and think, at the moment, this valuation is just so stretched. And it kind of goes back to the point of view a little bit earlier that I was talking about, is if you look at the S&P 400 mid cap, look at this, compared to what the S&P 500 is, where valuations are ultra stretched. At the moment, we're kind of, on the S&P 400, we're kind of about average. That's about average at the moment, which is, you would say, probably a little bit better of a buying opportunity to kind of go buy some of these. And the one that's even crazier, which obviously does trade at a little bit of low valuation, but probably the small caps. The small caps are looking very interesting at the moment. And either the mid caps or the small caps both look like fair opportunities right now. You look at a lot of these large caps, and to me, they just seem crazy over valuations. And it kind of going back to this video that I did on Patreon a little bit earlier, which was talking about a lot of the opportunities, and a lot of the opportunities that were very clear to see. A lot of the opportunities in the stock market at the moment look like they come in this category, or they come in this category: small market caps, middle market caps. Companies that are below 20 billion. You could push maybe to 50 billion nowadays, but a lot of the opportunities that I'm seeing at the moment are in there. And I thought, it does kind of make sense, because I looked at what stocks I've been buying recently. A lot of them have been mid caps, small market caps. In fact, it's actually to the point of view where I actually looked and I thought, I don't think I've actually bought a large market cap since, I think, February this year. Maybe even not even to last year. I think the last kind of big market cap that I kind of bought was Shopify. And I think I didn't start back. I don't think I bought Shopify until about February time. So yeah, that kind of, I think it was February time. So yeah, that kind of sums up where my kind of investments are going right now. And obviously you guys know that what the stocks I've been buying recently, even though I've not bought any for, I think, like the last kind of 2 weeks-ish, when I am buying, where am I buying? I am buying these mid caps and buying these small caps. They are standing out a lot bigger opportunities right now. And there was one stock in particular that we did on the screener. And the one stock that I did on the screener, I've been considering it for a little bit, but then after doing that little bit of a screener, I looked and thought, wow, that company does really stand out as being, compared to a lot of growth stocks, massively undervalued. And I'll give you one guess. What sort of size company did you think it was? It was a small market cap company. It was a company that was like a 1 billion market cap company, which comes in this sort of category here. And it just kind of sums up that where my buying has been at the moment I hadn't touched anything like above 50 billion for a long time. A lot of my stocks are being, that kind of, 1 billion to 10 billion range, and there's a reason for it. And I still think right now this is a massive problem, because I look here and it just doesn't make sense for me to buy in this sort of category, because the valuations are just so high. And I look and I think, you know what? I'm happy to hold all my big market cap companies that I do have, because, like Facebook in the next 5-10 years is going to be higher than where it is, even if valuations are a little bit stretched. Shopify, for example, and all them sort of companies. But to the point of view is, buying stocks that are undervalued, I mean, I've seen it with a lot of new investors, new investors on the Discord at the moment. A lot of them want to be buying the likes of Facebook and everyone like that, but every time you look at them, the valuations are just so high, and it's just there's no buying opportunities right now. And right now, even if you do force yourself to buy some, the problem is you look at this and think, there's always a chance it does go higher, but realistically, can it keep doing this? Can it keep going higher and higher? Or does it need a pullback? Or does it need to consolidate? And in my opinion, that needs to happen. It needs to happen. The S&P cannot carry on going up on the rate it is doing. And all I can see for this kind of S&P 500 over the next coming few months, maybe the next year, maybe 2022 sums up, maybe it grows 5-10%, but I cannot see the S&P 500 in the next kind of 12 months keep going on these 30% growth years. I just think the valuations are just a little high, and I think the better opportunities, and it kind of sums up where I'm buying at the moment, is here, because these opportunities here are fair value, or there's even some market cap, some companies in this sort of list here that are massively undervalued in my opinion. And that's just one of the big kind of red flags that I'm seeing at the moment, something that I'm avoiding doing, as you can see with the stocks that I'm buying at the moment. And I just think it's a problem in general that could carry on through the next kind of couple of months. And that's just my opinion. Obviously, it might be a load of rubbish, I might be wrong, but at the moment that's just something I'm seeing, that's something in general that I'm kind of putting into the stock market at the moment, and I just thought I'd share them thoughts with you. It might be useful, it might be a load of rubbish. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comment section. If it was a video that was a little bit useful though, hit that like button, that'd be absolutely amazing. And I'll see you on the next video. Considering I am thinking about buying a new stock, I might have bought it by then, so I might talk about that one. I'm not sure yet, we'll see exactly what happens. But yeah, I'll talk to you all in a bit.